Hey, what's up, you guys? Bloody Jacob here, and today we're going to be talking a little bit about 2011's Red Riding Hood. Red Riding Hood, of course, starring Amanda Seyfried, as well as Gary Oldman, not to mention others like Shiloh Fernandez, Max Irons, uh, Michael Shanks is in this, along with Virginia Madsen, even. So quite the overlooked cast, honestly. Um, No, I've grown quite enamored with Amanda Seyfried. I don't know if I've made that known enough on this format yet, but I've grown pretty deeply, fond of her to say the least. Um, she's going to be yet another one of my favorites out there, and I've always been curious about this one. I know it's from the director of Twilight and everything, and the movie does sort of have like the love triangle element to it to a point. Um, But I honestly really like this movie. I kind of dug it. I do think it has more merit to it than people are probably going to give it credit for. That more merit than people have given it credit for. And also, I should address this alternate cut I got. No particular reason actually looking into it. I prefer the theatrical anyway. The only thing with alternate really changes is the ending, and I think it's good either way. Honestly, it's not too big of a difference. There's nothing. There's no like extended scenes really, or in terms of like violence, it's pretty much the same. But yeah. Anyway, it was really the only way it was available on Blu-ray that I seen. Maybe I looked wrong. Maybe I didn't see the right copies on Amazon or what, but got it anyway because it is a cool cover. But yeah, so I addressed the love triangle thing, and there's the whole YA vibe to it to a point as well. But what I think sort of makes it have a little bit more of that merit to it is that it takes, it could have easily have done like Red Riding Hood, so it's Amanda Seyfried running through the woods getting chased by a wolf, and that's the shtick of it. No, it actually gets a little more creative. It makes it a little bit more of a realistic thing to a point. The scenario, anyway. Essentially, this village is under siege by a werewolf, which is kind of cool, and it's treated like the kind of like the Salem witch trial. So there's like a lot of desperation, a lot of paranoia, and everything. People are getting accused for various reasons of being responsible for it. There's sacrifices made and stuff like that. So I really like that sort of adaptation of this classic fairy tale. And that kind of leads me into saying, I can be a little bit anal to a point about the look of a werewolf or the look of a wolfman. I honestly prefer like the more classical Wolfman approach, especially like some of my favorites are like the 2010 Wolfman, or just more like Upright in general. But at the same time, while I can be a stickler, I am open to it if it's like executed well, or if it still like looks good. This one is a little more just on like the pure wolf side of it, which kind of annoys me sometimes. Like in Twilight, for instance, the werewolves are just like turned into like big dogs or big wolves. They don't look like anything supernatural or anything. Then you have other ones like American Werewolf in London, which is on all fours, but it looks still like bestial and like some other sort of otherworldly creature. And this one, just a little more into that area that might annoy me, but with this, it sort of softens it a bit, that blow of it, because of that fairy tale aspect, honestly, and that around it sort of makes me forgive it a little bit, or think it at least fits a little bit with the type of story it's telling. And even then, it doesn't look like just a basic wolf either. It's large, and it has, again, that particular look to it that makes it still seem like unique, like a werewolf should be. But yeah, and the CG isn't too bad with it either, and there's like this extra sort of fantastical touch to it. I don't really want to spoil it if you haven't seen it. That makes it stand out a little bit more than just being, again, like a shape-shifting wolf. But yeah, I honestly really, really like this movie. I think it's shot well. I like the song and the music and the score throughout, but particular the song that plays at the end of the movie. I think it's called Crystal Visions. Really, really cool. The whole atmosphere, the whole gothic type of aesthetic to it at times, I think is really, really good. But yeah, I really don't know what the problem was most people had with this movie. I get sort of not loving the love triangle thing. I think the dynamic she has with Shiloh Fernandez's character is well fleshed out for what it is. But I will say I thought about Shiloh Fernandez, as much as I liked the other movie he was in, Evil Dead Remake 2013, and even like The Old Way recently, I do think he was a little bit dull in this role. And then Max Irons, who I've liked in things like Terminal with Margot Robbie, I think he's gotten better as an actor. He's a bit wooden here as well, I will admit. And I do wish Gary Oldman got a little bit more to do, but he's this werewolf hunter, and it still works quite well. He's definitely a good presence to have. And that leads me into one of my final points, and that is, that sort of plays on this mystery of, okay, who's the werewolf? Who's the werewolf, right? So it gives you like a few, essentially like a few options. And you're constantly guessing, okay, they're all cliche, but which cliche are they going to go with? And I think the movie sort of has fun with that a little bit, What they do end up going with isn't the most predictable one they could have either. And it keeps it engaging, it keeps it kind of fun with, it kind of plays on the cliches, you think they might be going with. And I honestly didn't mind that aspect of it. I think it actually was done nicely enough. So yeah, honestly, Red Riding Hood, I really, really liked it, man. Yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. Amanda Seyfried was really good in it, obviously. She's just so, like, naturally emotive, and I'm really adoring her. But yeah, catch you guys next time, and peace.